Gear Talk Radio. You're in to all things music.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
It's Music Gear Talk here. NAMM Week. This is Inner Talk Radio, and we just want you to connect to all things music. My name is Florentino Buenaventura, and I'm your host today. And we are going to be talking with an association which represents a bunch of cool software gear companies, and we're going to be getting a download of what to expect from them over at the NAMM show. And with that said, Mr. Ray Williams, I want to welcome you here to Music Gear Talk and say hello to everybody.
Hey, hello. I'm very excited about the show, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on the air.
Well,
and whoever's coming to the NAMM show, please don't miss the software section. It's hot.
Well, isn't that where most everything is going outside of an actual guitar? But even then, a lot of that stuff is it's going digital. So it's pretty amazing. I use a lot of software with what I do when producing, when I can find time to get away from radio and actually get back to making music.
Well, if you think about it, you can't make a record without software. Oh, there's no way.
No.
Unless you're going to play for your family and your friends in your basement. But if you want other people to hear, you have to use software.
Yeah. The one way or another. Even if you take it the full analog direction in studio, once it's made, it still has to go digital because people won't be able to listen to it unless they do that way.
Absolutely.
So, let's kind of jump into it. And you're going to have to forgive me. It's the International Music Software Trade Association.
Correct.
IMSTA. So it's a whole mouthful. And you guys, let's kind of start. How did this thing get started? How did you get involved? And kind of fill us in on what the association, what's the mission? What's the goal of the association?
Well, it's a very, very simple thing. I mean, we started back in 2002. The concept was the software industry had no mouthpiece. They had no sort of group thing. There was no institution that was representing them. And the reason this was important was that the software community had special needs, okay? So those special needs needed to be looked after. And one of those special needs was that they were selling software back in 2002, and they're still doing it now, that basically you can download from the internet for free.
Yeah.
So this is a special kind of a problem that only this industry has. So we decided to, just create some kind of a discussion between ourselves and our customers about some of our issues, primarily piracy. Piracy was the first one that started it. And we gathered some companies together in a room back in Music Mesa in 2002, and they thought it was a good idea. And they saddled me with the responsibility of taking this thing from there to here. And now we have a lot of members, and we have a lot of people involved, and we're doing much more than just piracy education. We're doing, trade shows. We've made alliances with NAMM. We have our own IMSTA Festa events and so on. So that's where it comes from. It comes from just a sort of a necessity for this industry to come together and advocate for some of its own issues. That are unique to it.
Well, I think that's tremendous, and you're right. I mean, it's long been one of those industries where you make it, and then next thing you know, you're not necessarily making the money that you should be from the sales of the software, from licensing, from all these different things, and I think that's kudos to you guys. Who were some of the companies that started off with you when you guys created this?
Well, it was Native Instruments. I was there at the beginning. It was Cakewalk. It was Avid. It was Steinberg, Ceremony. A lot of these companies were there right out of the gate. Okay. We had fairly good support at the beginning.
Very cool. Very cool. And because these were competitors, did you find that agendas or different thoughts may have I'm not trying to, stir anything, but I'm just curious. Did everyone play well? I guess play well together for that?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's like I always say, like IMSTA is like herding cats. You have companies that are their posture is generally to compete with each other.
Yeah.
And some of them don't like each other. I mean, they really don't like each other. But and that makes my job, very, very special.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use the word difficult or impossible, but let's just say it's not necessarily an easy job to put all these people together. But because I don't make software myself. I'm a distribution kind of person.
Yeah.
I was able to do it because I am not one of the people that are competing with any one of them. So it was okay. But yes, it was hard to get people to agree. But we did get some things that were universally agreed upon, like our slogan, "Buy the software use," the fact that we will not go after people with legal action. We would not get into this kind of posture where we're, going after college students and suing people and that kind of police action. We just don't have that agenda. We don't have that mandate. We are here to start a conversation with people and say, listen, if we work and make software and we ask you to give us, $20, $100, $200, $500, we think you should give it to us. Just like if we work and we agree to, we work for $20 an hour, we expect the employer to pay us, or if we're selling Coke, and we say that this can of Coke costs $1 at our shop. We expect you to pay $1, not take it. And the fact that you can take it, let's say we don't have really good security at our shop, doesn't mean it's right for you to take it. And if everybody took the Coke, we would have to close the shop. So what we are trying to do, and I have my own personal reason for being such a champion of the software companies. I use software myself. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter. And, I do it for fun. I've done it since I was a kid. And I want the tools myself. So I don't want these companies to not make any money, close their shop, and start doing like security software or spreadsheets or some other thing that's probably going to make them more money. We want them to stay in the music industry. So we want people who are like me, who are making music with these tools, to start thinking, wait a minute, yes, they do need money. Otherwise, I can't get this great new plugin that I just seen.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a very simple argument that's what IMSTA is about.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And with competition getting stiff, I have to say, I say this with a broken heart. I've been a Cakewalk user and purchasing this, going back to Sonar 6, and I've always got the, updates I started getting on the payment plan thing. And obviously they've Gibson in their infinite wisdom has kind of changed their their status as a company, but I'm brokenhearted about that, man. How are the software companies doing well? I know that Gibson is kind of doing their own crazy world right now. I don't think they're even going to be at NAMM this year.
Well, let's put it in perspective. For every Cakewalk they sold, you have to imagine that there was more than one that was pirated. Okay, the question is how many more. Now, let me give you an idea. Like, there's a product called Spire, and it's a synthesizer. It's very popular.
Yeah.
And the piracy rate, meaning the number of pirated versions of that exists of all the user base, is 94%.
Wow.
If you had a gas station that lost 94% of the gas, you better. I don't really know what you would do. You'd probably get so mad you'd stop it. You just close it down.
Yeah.
You just get mad. So they're big products. I mean, products that are well known. Ableton. I mean, they have several multiples of sales in terms of pirated versions. So it's a big problem. And then the issue is you have people who are in the arts. They're creating content, and that content itself is subject to being stolen. But they would happily steal somebody else's content. I mean, if you're in the game, if you're in this business, be in the business. Share, be part of it, and it's a small amount of money. I mean, if you think about it, the per capita income in the United States is $50,000, $60,000. We have people who are lining up to buy iPhones that are pirating software, and you look at the cost of an iPhone, and they have a perfectly good iPhone in their pocket as well. So I don't think the argument that I can't afford it really washes, because a lot of people, it's a choice. It's you want to buy it or you don't want to buy it, and our job is not to guilt you into buying. We're saying, look, we just want you to think about it, and if you really think about it. I want Yuhi to continue to make synthesizers. I want Sound Toys to keep making great plugins, and FabFilter to make this EQ that they're making. So I would like to see people throw some money in FabFilter's coffers so they can make version 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 for my own personal selfish reason.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel the same way. Like I said, I'm heartbroken that Cakewalk that I've been using since, I think 2005 when I started. I actually used the first version of Cakewalk before. It was actually an audio tool. It was just the MIDI, and then
I remember it. It came in bundled with an interface, and it was there were hundreds of thousands of people that used that software.
Yeah. What happens now? Your association. I'm going to actually selfishly try to lobby for you, man, to try to see what can be done. What can be done for a company like Cakewalk and their product? Because I just find that the most user-friendly DAW out there.
Well, it's user power. I mean, if enough Cakewalk users, petition Gibson, Gibson is a company that listens to its customers, and don't give up. If you really want something, advocate for it. Just like we want something, we're advocating for it. There's nothing to suggest at all that there can't be any kind of reversal of that. If there's enough groundswell.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously this is some kind of a financial decision. I can't really speak for Gibson, but we need Cakewalk to be there. We all benefited from having more diversity in the DAW world. I mean, having these DAW constrict, it's less choice for us, and there's so many users. And Cakewalk is one of the originals, like you said.
They go way back
a long way.
Yeah, definitely there. So, how many companies are part of your association? Well,
we have over 200. We have quite a few, and most of them. They're very busy. Most of them are very small. We're talking 1-2 people operations.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that a lot of these companies are operating on absolute shoestring. They're making phenomenal products that are used by hundreds of thousands of people to make big hits that you hear on the radio. It's 2 or 3 people. And I would say the vast majority of our members are under 10 employees. The vast majority, 90%.
Yeah.
And quite a big chunk of them are less than 3 people.
Yeah.
And so these are small operations, and the reason they're this small, is again related to a lot of these other piracy issues. I heard one statistic that if Ableton got all the money that from their pirated versions, they could be bigger than Avid. So it just keeps perspective. Avid sells these big hardware, Pro Tools, IOs, and so on. So it just gives you a perspective on what we're trying to do.
Awesome to hear what you guys are doing here. We're actually got about a minute left in this segment. We're going to come back and talk about what NAMM's going to look like for you. But this has been Music Gear Talk. We've been talking about the International Music Software Association, and I'm talking with Ray. And we are going to be coming back here in a few short minutes. In fact, let me give a shout out to the URL. IMSTA.org. So you guys check that out. If you make software, which we do have those folks tuning in from time to time. If you're not part of that association, you really want to get a hold of them. They've got ways to contact them. On their front page, they've got all the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. They're there. We're going to be right back in a few short minutes. Music Gear Talk. My name is Florentino, and stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on intertalkradio.com.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
All right, we are in the second segment of Music Gear Talk, powered by the mighty Intertalk Radio Network. Connect to all things music. I was just telling our guest here that we have 18 shows that are on the network, and we have a plethora of different programs and video, and we've got some new things that we're going to be announcing today later on. So make sure you stay tuned. With that said, we also like to pay the bills, and by paying the bills, what we want to do is give a shout out to Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com. And you can go there to their website, or if you're here in National City, go down to their store and talk to Shane or to AJ or Eric or any of the crew. Super knowledgeable. One of the considered the fastest growing retailer in the music business, as well as one of the nicest ones. So big shout out to those guys, and of course SIR at sir-usa.com. They have helped us power concerts that we've put on, as well as all of our friends who go on tour, because it's the largest backline company in the world. So big shout out to them. And with that said, we have a great guest here, Ray Williams of IMSTA. I'm going to cut that short because it's a full mouth. It's a mouthful when you say the full name.
IMSTA.
IMSTA. There we go. IMSTA. We've been talking about the software industry and how to support it, and make sure that you don't lose your favorite software piece because they're not getting supported by the industry, because it's out there getting pirated. So we need to make sure that we take care of the companies that are making the tools that are taking care of us when it comes down to music. And with that said, Ray, NAMM's right here. It's going to be here in the next few days. It starts Thursday. If you're here in the media world, which we are, we're going to be there on Wednesday getting a media preview. But with that said, what is your agenda for NAMM, and what can people expect when they go to the booth, and what is the booth number? So there's 3 questions in one.
Well, we are situated in what we call software.NAMM. So we're in a new technology building, and it's 14100. That's where we are. And IMSTA is surrounded by 20 different software companies, some very, very small, some sort of medium size, and some a little bit larger. Like we have Antares, makes Autotune. We have Sound Toys. We have NewGen, Sonox, these companies. And we have very, very tiny, small companies as well that are just starting out and have been in it for a couple of years that are also in this what we call software.nam area. And then we have a presentation area where we have scheduled software demonstrations that are going to be featuring different products from each company. So throughout the day, they're probably going to be 16 or so, either each half hour. They're about 16 different presentations on our stage. We have about a 1,200 square foot area with, large screen TV. And basically you can come there and get a, pretty good demonstration of a particular product, a Melodyne or the new EQ from Sonox or the new version of Autotune that's coming out. All that stuff will be on display.
Wow.
And so cool. People can come and enjoy, a relaxed atmosphere because it's a separate room. And then, of course, you can go and stand at the booths that we have along a long line. The entire north face of that hall is software.nam. There are 20 booths lined up there. So IMSTA is very, very well represented, and we are very thankful to NAM because these software companies are back in with a vengeance at NAM. I think we've got 80-something software companies there, and we've seen a decline since 2005, a massive decline of software companies leaving. Native Instruments and Apple and these companies have all left NAM. Propeller heads, the list goes on and on and on. And a lot of these companies are back now. And a lot of it started with our, partnership with NAM 2 years ago at 2016 NAM, where we sort of brought this new platform of software.nam together. And software, frankly, it's exciting. It's always updating. There's always something new, something cool. So NAM is smart in that trying to help the software companies come to NAM brings people in. People want to go to the Avid. They want to see what's new with Pro Tools. They want to see what's new with Native Instruments. I mean, that's what the new stuff. That's where the new stuff is in that room, right?
Yeah.
And then they want to discover a lot of new little companies like Relab and Reveal Sound from Russia and all these kind of companies that are there. They're there. Along with Serato and and the big ones, and little ones, Sonable, mixed with big ones, and Native is there, PreSonus is there, Yuhi's there. They're all there, and so it's a very exciting building, and this is a new building at NAM.
Yeah.
So we're all over that first floor.
In fact, if you folks don't know, if you're going to NAM and you think you know how the layout is, you don't know how the layout is because they've really changed things around. They put the drums right in the middle. I thought, wow, I don't know how they're going to handle the sound, but they said they have that covered, so that's going to be cool. And I like the fact that, used to be they sort of had things arranged within, verticals of of what they represent, but often you'd go into an area and you'd see a software designer next to them would be some type of guitar tech thing, and then and it was
microphone,
good. Microphone, and it was cool, but sometimes you're looking, especially if you're looking for certain specific elements that are interesting to you. It's nice if you can go to one area and see everything that's related. So I think, kudos to NAM for kind of putting that together, and kudos to you guys for getting some of those major software companies that I've missed in the past few years over there. So that is awesome. Now, here's a question for you because it sounds like you guys kind of help out with this quite a bit with software, because often they're not. You go to a Pitbull Auto, you go to one of the other retailers and you look at different things and you're kind of doing your shopping there. You don't see the software as much in retailers. And then of course there's blogs and other things, but how are these new companies getting the word out that they've got the next greatest, coolest type of technology?
Well, a lot of them are using resellers. So Pitbull, for example, they use a platform called Exchange. Yeah. And Exchange has 6,000 software products on there. So Pitbull has access to thousands of software products in their store.
Yeah.
And so their store can talk to the Exchange platform and pull serial numbers in real time and give it to customers. So the access to software through retail has never been greater. And here's the reason why people like to shop at retail. Let's say I want to buy Ableton. I could go to ableton.com and go and buy it there, plug in my name and all that stuff, create a username, password, et cetera, and get it. Yeah. Now I want to buy some Fat Filter. I got to go FatFilter.com, put in the whole thing over there. Now I want to buy Melodyne. I go over to Melodyne, sellmoney.com, all the way through. 3 different times, 3 different times I put in my credit card information, 3 different usernames, 3 different passwords. Or I can go to Pitbull. And then I could just put in my Create One account and buy all 3 right there at Pitbull.
Smart.
And I'm buying other things at Pitbull. I'm buying something else, maybe an amplifier, maybe a microphone as well. So the retailer always has the retailer is the better sales vehicle than a manufacturer all the time, because you have choice, you have selection, and service is better.
Yeah. And I would wholeheartedly agree. Not because that's one of our biggest partners and sponsors, but because, I've always been a retail shopper. So, I'd say that, when I bought my first Cakewalk, and it was actually a CD, and I bought it from it was the store in Westwood that used to be there. West LA Music. There we go. I couldn't remember it for the life of me, but I went to the clinic. They did a great job of presenting it, and I'm like, all right, this is my, after having played with it back in the day when it was a MIDI, sequencer. All right, I'm gonna go with Cakewalk. I remember it. I'm gonna support it. And then you just do all the updates as you kind of go along. So I wholeheartly agree. And then but I have bought like IK multimedia stuff from those folks, and I think we've got so many different tools that you go by. Oh man, I've seen that. That was quick. That was a quick. Paul, where we go that quick? We're down to the last minute. Ray, what would you like people to take away as the last thought for this interview? We're going to have it next time.
I would like them to take away that we're not here to judge. We're not here to literally, we're not here to pass judgment. We're not here to condemn. We're not here to point fingers. We are here to start a conversation that we know logically could only end in one conclusion, which is if you buy this software, if you use this software, you should buy it. You just can't take stuff out without putting stuff back in. There's a kind of a universal thing that says, we have to push and pull. We have to have equilibrium on both sides. And you have to respect the tools. I don't want to make a hit record. I don't care how enticing the money and the fame is with a stolen guitar. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that song, it will be with me. So I ask people to just think about it. That's all. Think about it. We have the conversation. I'll see you at NAMM.
Well, hey, Ray, thank you very much. This has been Music Gear Talk. See you all at NAMM.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on InterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?